Well, welcome to today's Rant, and just wanted to share with you a few things from White House call that took place a few minutes ago. It's a private call. It's about 150, I think, law enforcement, government people, and Christian leaders on the call, and Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen was on, had a few things to say, and then it was mostly President Trump himself that got on and shared what was going on there from his perspective. He said that basically, just reiterated his devotion to the number one job that the federal government has, which is our protection, and his number one job, first duty. And he talked about the second caravan that's now coming north. He said, we've been stopping them. They've not been getting across. Some have. There'll always be a few. But he talked about the terrible conditions in these caravans. 1 in 3 women, children are being sexually abused. Just terrible things. And he, of course, he does feel for that. Everybody does. It's, that reveals the conditions in their countries that they're trying to flee from and how desperate they are. And that's, that is something we should have compassion for. But we can't let them come in this way. Can't. Absolutely can't. I totally agree with that. You can't just open the gate to mobs of people coming in just saying, we're going to come in the way we want to do it. They start off disrespecting us, our country, our laws. Some of them, they don't want to. They're desperate. But it's a terrible thing, and that it has to be stopped. And if one of these caravans was just allowed in, the next caravan wouldn't be thousands. It would be hundreds of thousands. There would be no way to control who gets through. The gang members, the terrorists. I think it would be the end of our country. I think it would be so devastating from the inside out. It would be a meltdown. It would be one of the most terrible things. Many of you may remember the dream I had a few years ago about the onslaught coming across our southern border. In 1987, I was shown in an extensive 2.5-day prophetic experience. One of the things I was shown was a hot war along our southern border. And we're kind of headed there. If those countries don't prevent this kind of thing, instead they're mobilizing, they're paying for a lot of the people's travel, supplying them with food and everything else as they come up. And I think Trump is right. If those governments are going to do that, we need to cut off all aid to those governments very quick. But he reiterated how the wall is effective 90+% of the time. Some are going to get through whatever wall. They're going to dig tunnels. They're going to do what. Some will get through. But the experience in El Paso, Texas, that it was terrible, the crime that they were subject to from illegals crossing their porous border. When a wall was put up there, the crime rate dropped dramatically. And it does everywhere there's a wall. There are walls in countries all over, and some of these walls are, I think, like the one in Turkey, between Turkey and Syria, that it came out a couple of weeks ago, that the EU, the European Union, had paid for while calling us, racist and everything else for wanting to have a wall. Mexico has a wall along its southern border. The only way these people get through like this is Mexico lets them. And But he said the Dems fight only for political reasons. Public opinion's changing fast. The Democrats are starting to understand they can't win in the long run. The only thing they can hope for is for Trump to cave in pretty quick. And guess what? He's not caving in. He said to date, they have not had a single call to the White House encouraging them to cave. And they get a lot of calls of support. And what the president asked for was for unity. And he said the Republican House and Senate are unified on this. Stand fast. Do not give in. Every other administration has caved, has not fulfilled their duty and even their promises. Republicans and Democrats are both. Obama called for a wall along the border, voted for one. Before he was president, voted for the wall, southern border wall, in 2006. Hillary Clinton voted for it. But he went on to talk about the burden on our social services and everything else that cannot be borne because so many of these people are not working. They can't work. They don't have skills where they can get a job. So they're just living off of our welfare system that is being depleted really fast. And the burden is becoming too large for states to carry or the federal government to carry. So anyway, I ask you, as the president did, to call your Democratic senators, congressmen. The Republicans are onto this. You can call them too, give them support and encouragement. But the tide of public opinion is changing. The president is resolute, absolutely resolute, and he's energized. And I tell you, one of the things we have to appreciate about this president is his incredible energy. The guy, he outworks everybody in his administration. One reason, some of those who have left his administration admitted leaving, he said nobody can keep up with him for very long. They're burning out fast. They're wearing out fast. He's an unbelievable worker. Enjoying himself, having a good time. He doesn't enjoy the tragedies that are happening and the log jams and Congress and all that, but he is, when you hear these reports of the chaos and all that and the discouragement of the president, it is total lies, total fake news. He is getting the job done and is resolute to keep fighting on. And so anyway, I just wanted to pass that on to you today. This is a critical factor. It's one in which, countries all over the world are building walls. They work. Israel is proof of that when they were being attacked daily by terrorists. And and then when they put up the wall and said, we're only going to let into our country who we want to come in, put up an effective wall. No wall is going to be totally effective, but pretty much so. Their crime rate and the terrorist attacks on them dropped dramatically. And these things work. Countries all over the world are putting them up to defend the integrity of their nations. And this needs to happen. It's the same principle when you lock your doors at night. You may love your neighbors, you may love the homeless and everything else, but you're not going to let just anyone come wandering into your house, eat your food, possibly attack and abuse your family. Isn't going to happen. No, responsible parent would ever allow that to happen. And as a country, we have to do the same thing. This is basically us saying, we will have a door you can come through, and we invite you to come. We need immigrants badly. And these are some great people. Some of them who want to come into our country and immigrate are incredible people. I'd say more than 90% of them are. Hard workers, given any job, they do it with zeal and effectiveness. They're incredible workers. Most of them are incredible family people. We just want them to come in the right way. What did Jesus say about anyone who doesn't come through the door? They're a thief, a robber, a wolf. And don't let anybody in who doesn't want to come through your door invited. Not breaking the door down, but as you open it, when you open it, and to whom you decide to open it. This is the way we got to live. We can't live in this dangerous world any other way and expect to live long. So there are a lot of people that understand they really want to destroy us. There are terrorists in those caravans. There are really bad people, gang members and all, who only want to come here and plunder. It's not a large percentage, but it's enough that has a terrible impact and is a terrible threat to the security of our citizens. So this is wearing on the Democrats too. They are more and more perceived of caring more about illegal immigrants than they do our own citizens. We want to care about all immigrants, about all people that want to come in, all people who are in distress. Would like to help. I think America's been the greatest nation to help these, maybe in history. I think bears out. And but we can't have people just crashing into our houses. Can't have people crashing into our country. Simple. So to me, I think the Democratic Party, the Democrats are going to suffer tremendously because of this. And they're energized because they got the House back. And they got the House back. They fought hard. They fought strong campaigns, and a lot of seats were lost because of, the candidates more than party affiliation or whatever. And I think some of them got in, certainly because of voter fraud, which needs to be stopped too. That is, we can't have a true democratic republic if we're going to allow people to cheat on the most valuable privilege and right every U.S. citizen has, that their vote counts. Every time an illegal votes, it cancels out the vote of a U.S. citizen. So that's got to be changed. Anyway, I just wanted to pass that along to you. It was an encouraging call. I was a little surprised at how energetic and you could feel the energy. They're not going to quit. They are absolutely not going to quit. But they want the government shutdown to end. They want people to get paid. They want things, and it should soon. But I think regardless of how long it goes on, Trump is not going to cave, not going to give in. So it's a matter of how long does it take for the Democrats to wake up. This is something all of them voted for when it was a Democrat in office, but like so many Republican administrations, they voted for something they didn't follow through on and get done. And Trump has resolved, get her done. So anyway, I am so appreciative of that, and I hope you are. Hope this is encouraging to you.